Hello everyone. Welcome back to another video from the Worldofenglishexams.com. In this video, we are going to look at one of the most important question types on the IELTS reading module, that is, which paragraph contains the following information. You might see the title like this or the question type like this, and this sometimes can be a very confusing factor because students generally have this feeling that they need to read the whole of the paragraph and then read all of the questions and match them appropriately. And the same context may be present in more than one paragraph, but it is essential for us to locate the keywords and then match the meaning of the statement that is given to us. So the first thing that we are going to do is look at the different types of questions on the IELTS reading module, and then I'll tell you a strategy on how you can match the information to what is given in the paragraph. So shall we go ahead? Wonderful then. Yes, as you can see clearly on the screen, the question types on the IELTS reading module are basically classified into 4 categories. The first category comes the fill in the blanks question, wherein you have many subcategories like note completion or sentence completion, flow chart, diagram, table, summary, and all of them. So all these are together called fill in the blanks. And the second category is multiple choice questions. Under multiple choice questions, again you have 2 different subcategories, that is selecting one option out of 3 or 4 alternatives and then selecting 2 options out of 5 alternatives. So these are the 2 different types of multiple choice questions. Then we have true or false or not given, or which is also called identification of factual information. Then there is yes or no or not given, which is identification of the claims of the writer. Lastly, we have matching type of question. Under matching type of question also there are various categories, of which we are going to cover one of the most important ones in this video, that is matching information which is given to us to the one that is contained in the paragraph. So which paragraph holds the information pertaining to what is given to us. So having understood the various types of questions, you can find the detailed description and the related videos and updates in many of our other videos that you can see on the Worldofenglishexams.com. This is a wonderful website where we give a lot of information and updated resources. So do give this video a big thumbs up if you like it, and do share it with your friends because sharing is caring. Okay, so now don't forget to subscribe to our video, by the way. Okay, so now let's get into learning the strategic approach of how to crack these question types, that is matching. Okay, so are you able to see, guys? I have divided the process into a series of 5 steps. Now that's how we get each and every answer right. Now the first step is reading the question, but let me tell you here, we are not going to read just one question. We are going to read all the questions. Once again, let me repeat this. We are not going to go question wise, but however, we are going to read all the questions at once. We are trying to identify the keywords, which is the second step. And what exactly are the keywords, you might be wondering. Don't worry, I'm going to take you through keyword identification strategy in a moment. Then once you have categorized and identified the keywords, the third step is very, very essential: phrasing the given sentence. A phrase is a group of words. So essentially what we are doing is we are going to divide the sentence into phrases or maybe bits of words, and then we are going to try to get the meaning. And then what is the fourth step, guys? To identify the tense. So it might not be essential for all the questions. However, for some questions, if we can identify the tense, we can easily find the answer, because mostly the tense which is given in the question or the statement must match the tense that is seen in the passage. So that's how we take a hint from how to identify the tense and how to match it. Lastly, we are going to look out for synonyms. Synonyms are words which contain the same meaning, however we use a different word, and then we identify it with the context. So these are the 5 steps that are required to crack matching information to the paragraph. Now, having understood this, so if you want some more time, you can just pause the video here and you can look at the steps, understand each of them perfectly before moving on to the next step, that is how to identify the keywords. Remember, the second step is to identify the keywords, and please do not skip this step. This is a very, very important step, guys. So the more accurately and precisely you identify the keywords, the easier it gets to identify and match the information. So on that note, let's continue to learning keyword identification strategy. Yes, so as you can see on the screen, these two triangles are going to help us in locating the keywords. Now, what exactly is a keyword? A keyword is an important word, a very significant word that might help us in getting the right information. Now, for our easy understanding, what I have done is I have classified the keywords into two categories. As you can see in green, the first category is known as core keywords or central main keywords. So what are they, guys? Nouns. Nouns are naming words, as you know, names of people, places, things, currency, and prices, and all that. So all these are nouns which will not change. Obviously, right? The names cannot be changed or synonymized. So what are we going to do? We are going to mark them as being the very important core keywords. Now the next one, which you can see in brown, is verbs. So verbs are the second category of core keywords, which are action words. So these action words are very, very important because they can be given as synonyms. We should not expect to find the exact word from the question or the statement. Rather, we have to find the synonyms for the verbs. The last core keywords are adjectives or describing words. Obviously, if an adjective is given, it is understood that these words will describe the nature of a noun, be it the color, quality, quantity, and so on. So these three, that is the nouns, verbs, and adjectives, are touted to be the core keywords in this scenario of keyword identification. I hope this concept is clear. Now let's move on to the additional keywords, the second category under keyword identification. Let me tell you guys, there are a lot many students and test takers who do not pay attention to these keywords, additional keywords, and that's the reason they do not understand the meaning of the sentence. They just go with the contextual relativity, and then they just compare and match the keywords, but that's not what we have to do. That's a big negative. I'm going to tell you how and why. So then the additional keywords are, the first one you can see is articles. A, an, and the. So these are the three articles that we have in the English language. The next one is adverbs. Adverbs are also called modifying words, which tell us a lot about the quantification of the noun. So adverbs are very, very important, and we are going to see how adverbs are going to modify the sentence. Now the last but not the least are prepositions. Prepositions are position words that indicate the location of nouns. So let me just recapitulate whatever we have learned. The core keywords are nouns, verbs, and adjectives. We are going to highlight and mark them as in when we see them. The next additional keywords are articles, adverbs, and prepositions. So these 6 parts of speech must be identified as keywords because they are going to be very useful in identification and matching. So now, having understood how to identify the keywords, let's look at some important tips that might help you in getting these answers right. Okay, so here are the essential tips that I generally recommend to all my students in order to get these answers right. So the first one is marking the keywords properly. We need to ensure that we need to mark the keywords appropriately. So we have just seen what are the keywords, right? Next essential tip is understand the meaning of the question. So here we are not trying to just match the keywords, but we are trying to maintain a perfect meaning for the given statement and see the relevance in the passage. So just don't blindly match the keywords. We are going to look for the meaning, whether they are suitable and whether they mean the same or not. The third tip is look for the correct meaning of the question. We need to match the exact meaning of whatever is conveyed in the text. Now, here is an important tip, guys. Sometimes the same paragraph may contain more than one answer. This is very important. Students often confuse, like, ma'am, we have understood all the questions, we have read the paragraph, but we are unable to find the answer for some of the questions. And they also come with another important point, that is, I can see that in one paragraph there is information pertaining to two questions. Am I going wrong somewhere? Not at all. Not at all. That is absolutely possible, because you will get to see how that is possible, because I'm going to practically solve a paragraph and I'm going to match the information to the paragraph with you, and you're going to do it with me. And not only that, guys, I'm also going to give you another paragraph and I'm going to set a timer for you, and you're going to solve it and know for yourself how well you have understood the concept. Is it fine? Now let's get started with understanding how to do that, and let's practice, because practice makes perfect, isn't it? So let's continue on that note with analyzing the questions. And here I am following the reading the questions first, and then I'll move on to reading the passage. That's how I generally do, and I'm going to teach you how to do that as well. So without any further delay, let's check out how to apply the strategy that we have learned. Yes. So this is how this question type looks. Look at the heading properly. What is the question type? Which section contains the following information? So the paragraphs are otherwise called sections here. And which section contains the information that is given? And guys, I want you to check out this important point here. Can you see on the screen that there is something called NB? I'm just trying to highlight it. Yeah, can you see something called NB? So NB is called note beat. Note beat. What is the meaning of note beat? You may use any answer more than once. So have you cleared your doubt, guys? That any paragraph can contain more than one bit of information. So you need to be very vigilant while searching the answers, because if NB is given in the paper, it means that definitely one paragraph will contain two answers. So any one answer or more than one answer might be repeated. So you do not get confused or feel perplexed if at all you see the repetition of the same paragraph. No problem. And this is also giving us a clue that you need to be very attentive in reading the passage, because just if you read one line and stop it, then I think you might be missing on some essential information. Now, how to do that? How to actually identify which paragraph contains which information? Generally, what students do is that they, for example, we have questions from 7 to 14 here. So what do students do is they read question number 7 and then they look out for the passage. That's a wrong approach, because it's going to take a lot of time. It's a laborious and tedious process. So we are going to avoid that. We are going to see how to do that actually. So now what we are going to do is read all the questions. So let me just take you back to the slide where I told you the sequential approach. Yes, what is the sequential approach? Reading the question, marking the keywords, phrasing the sentence, and looking out for synonyms. So we are going to practically do that. We are going to read not one but all the questions. Now, the 7th question. Examples of people who are likely to be particularly badly affected by flu. Now, let's understand what this sentence means. Here, let's phrase the question, examples of people. That is the first sentence. Oh, so that means the paragraph must contain some examples of certain categories of people who are likely to be. Likely is nothing but there is a risk, there is a chance of being particularly very badly affected by flu. That means some categories of people, certain people are at greater risk of getting flu when compared to the rest of the crowd. That's what is being asked here. So which paragraph is talking about those categories of people who might be at greater risk of catching the flu? Have you understood it, guys? This is how you need to take a moment to analyze and understand the meaning. Next one, let's move on to the 8th question. How to get a vaccination if you choose to pay for it? So the phrases are how to get a vaccine. Okay, so I want to get a vaccine, and if you choose to pay for it, that means I'm not opting for a free vaccination. Rather, I want to purchase, I want to buy the vaccination, and how is it possible? So that's what is the question. Next, let's move on to the 9th question. Why new vaccines become available? So here they are asking a reason for the availability of new vaccines. So why is the necessity? Why should new vaccines be bought into the market? Okay, so that's what is the essence of the 9th question. Then the 10th question. How long a vaccine remains effective? How long indicates a time, an interval of time when the vaccine remains effective. So what is the working period of a vaccine? Okay, so then 11th one, references in the paragraph they're stating some information to the possibility. Again, what is the meaning of possibility? It is a chance. Okay, they're not telling that definitely a person is going to catch, but definitely what is the possibility, what is the chance of catching a different type of flu. So that means I have been vaccinated for a particular type of flu, but what is the chance of me catching a different type of flu from the ones that is there in the vaccine? That means, let's say the vaccine contains strain A. Okay, what is the chance that I will not get strain A, but I'll be infected with strain B? What is the chance of that happening? That's what is the paragraph about. Then 12th one, categories. Are you able to see, guys? Here the noun is given in the plural form. Hence, in the passage also we must find not one category but more than one categories of people who do not have to pay for vaccination, which means that it is given free of cost for them. They don't need to pay anything for that. Next one, information about what a vaccine consists of. So what exactly is there in a vaccine? What are the contents of a vaccine? That's what is the information that must be there in the passage. Next, signs. Again, what are the meaning of signs? Signs are nothing but symptoms. Signs that you might have flu. What are some of the symptoms? So which paragraph actually contains the information about the symptoms for flu? Okay, now having understood this, as you could see, it doesn't take more than 2 to 3 minutes roughly to analyze. But now when we have a look at the passage, we will see how easy it is to get the answers. Okay, so now the title is Flu the Facts. Let's read paragraph A. Flu or influenza is an acute viral respiratory infection. Okay, it spreads easily from person to person at home, at school, at work, at the supermarket, or on the train. So this paragraph is talking about how the flu spreads or influenza virus is spreading. So now let's go back to the questions. Is there anything with reference to how the flu is spreading from one person to another person? No, right? So then directly we can omit that paragraph. So this strategy is called reverse matching. I repeat, this strategy of first reading the questions and then matching it to the paragraph is called reverse matching. This is one of the forms of scanning, I must say. So then, let's read paragraph B. It gets passed. So what is it? It means influenza. Okay. So it gets passed when someone who has already flu coughs or sneezes and is transmitted through the air by droplets. Okay, so this paragraph is talking about how the flu is spreading from one person to another, or it can be spread by hands infected by the virus. So these are the various modes of transmission of the influenza virus. Now let's see. 7th question, no examples of people. No, it's not given. 8th question, how to get a vaccination. Nothing about that is given. 9th one, why new vaccines are available. No, nothing about this. How long a vaccine remains effective. Nothing mentioned about the time span. Then reference to a possibility of catching a different type of flu. No, they are not telling that. They are only telling the ways in which a person can be infected. Then categories of people who do not have to pay, nothing about payment. Then 13th question, information what a vaccine consists of, nothing given there. And signs that you might have flu, no, nothing about symptoms given there. So have you understood that not always all the paragraphs need to contain the information? Some of the paragraphs might just be there to confuse us. Okay, then let's move on to paragraph C. Symptoms can include fever, chills, headache, muscle pain, extreme fatigue, a dry cough, sore throat, and stuffy nose. So clearly what is given here? Symptoms. What are the various symptoms? Can you see that it is given in the plural form and more than one symptom is mentioned? So come on, let's match it. Which question type is it matching to? Which question? 14th one. Yeah, that is signs. Have you identified more than one symptom or more than one sign? Yes. So these are some of the possible symptoms that might indicate that somebody is affected by flu. So the answer for 14th question is C. We need to write that paragraph C contains the information. However, should we stop reading it here? No. Why is it? Because we have found note beat. That is, any answer may be repeated more than once, isn't it? So we should not take any risk. Let's continue reading paragraph C. Most people will recover within a week, okay? But flu can cause severe illness or even death in people at high risk. So if at all people are at high risk and they have a severe infection of flu, then even it might lead to death. Okay, it is estimated that so and so deaths in England and Wales are attributable to influenza infections annually. Okay, so nothing given about any other question. So I think we might move on to reading the next paragraph. Vaccination is the most effective way to prevent the infection. Although anyone can catch flu, okay, anyone can catch flu. That means it's talking about a possibility. Okay, so it's not telling that everyone will catch the flu for sure, but there is always a risk. Then, although anyone can catch flu, certain people, that means a particular category of people, are at greater risk from the implications of flu, as their bodies might not be able to fight the virus. So that means their immune system is very weak. So they are prone to be at higher risk of catching the flu. Now let's go back and identify that. Examples of people who are likely to be badly affected by flu. Yeah, so I think this information is matched somehow to that. But let's see what are those examples. Till now we have found that certain people, but who are those certain people? Now let's continue reading it. If you are over 65 years old, which means that people aged 65 or over have a higher risk of catching the infection. Maybe that is the first example. Let's continue. Or suffer from asthma, diabetes, or certain other conditions. Okay, this is the second condition. If a person is suffering from asthma, or he or she is diabetic, or maybe some other health conditions, you are considered at greater risk. That means when compared to a normal person, a healthy person, people who have already suffered from other conditions such as asthma and diabetes, or maybe owing to the age factor, they can be at a greater risk from catching the influenza. So this one is showing the examples of people, the categories of people. So what is the answer for the 7th question? Paragraph number D, or D paragraph contains the information pertaining to this question. Now let's continue to read. If you fall into one of these factors at risk groups, okay, that means let's imagine that I am one of those sufferers who is aged over 65, or maybe I'm suffering from asthma or diabetes or some other health conditions, or maybe a pregnant or a carer, then you are eligible for a free flu vaccination. That means if at all I'm falling under one of these at risk factors, or maybe let's say pregnant women, so they are eligible for a free flu vaccine. That means they did not purchase it. Okay, I think we are getting a relevance to some other question as well. Let's look at question number 8. How to get a vaccination if you choose to pay. That means here I'm not paying, right? So I'm eligible to get a free flu vaccine. Okay, so 8 is omitted. Next one. Why new vaccines? Nothing about new vaccines. 10th one. How long a vaccine remains? Nothing about the time. Reference to a possibility of catching a different type of flu? No, nothing about that. Categories of people who do not have to pay for vaccination. So clearly, can you identify the relevance, guys? So here I'm talking about categories. So what are these categories? Age factors, greater risk factors, or maybe pregnant. So these are the categories of people who do not have to pay, which means they're getting the vaccination for free. Can you see the meaning? Yes, like this. So if you just go by matching the keywords, I think you'll be searching but never landing in the right answer. Next, let's look at paragraph E. If you are not eligible for a free flu vaccine, let's say that I'm a healthy individual and I'm not a pregnant or something like that. So what happens? I'm not eligible for a free flu vaccine. Then you can still protect yourself and those around you from flu by getting a flu vaccination at the local pharmacy. So which means that if I'm not given a free flu vaccine, what do? I choose to buy the vaccine. So if at all I choose to purchase the vaccine, where can I get it? I can get it at the local pharmacy. So this gives us the information for some other question. What is it? So 8th question, how to get a vaccination if you choose to pay for it. So if at all I choose to pay for the vaccination, so I can get that at a local pharmacy store. So that's the answer for 8th one. Which paragraph is that? Paragraph E. Paragraph E contains it. Next, let's read the last one. About 7 to 10 days after the vaccination, your body makes antibodies that help to protect against similar viruses. Okay, so that means if I am vaccinated against, let's say, influenza, for a particular strain of influenza, I won't get maybe affected by that flu strain because my body, the immune system already starts producing antibodies. Okay, and this protection lasts about an year. So what is the effectiveness? How long will it be effective? For 1 year. Okay, so now that corresponds to which question, guys? How long a vaccine remains effective? So 10th question, a vaccine remains effective for 1 year or a year. Have you understood it? So the answer for the 10th question is paragraph F. So now let's continue reading. Okay, so let's see what is given in paragraph G. A flu vaccination contains inactivated killed virus strains, so it can't give you the flu. So what are the contents of a vaccine? Inactivated killed virus strains. Oh, I think we have seen the question or similar meaningful one. Okay, so let's see. 7th question is over. Then we got the answer for the 8th question as well. The 9th, new vaccines. Did we get anything about new vaccines? No, not yet. 10th one also we have found the answer as F. Then reference to a possibility of catching a different type of flu. Did we get any meaning called different type of flu? No. Then what about 12th one? Yes, we have already found that. Then 13th question, information about what a vaccine consists of. Yes, so a vaccine consists of inactivated and killed virus strains. So the answer for the 13th bit is G. G. Okay, let's continue reading it. It can't give you the flu. However, a flu vaccination can take up to 2 weeks to begin working. So it is possible to catch flu in this period, but nothing about different type of flu. So we should not get confused there. Next, let's move on to reading this paragraph H. A flu vaccination is designed to protect you against most common and potent strains of flu circulating. So there is a small chance, that is likely, okay, that you could catch a strain of flu not contained in the vaccine. That means, let's say the vaccine contains strain A. but there is a possibility for me to catch strain B. That is a different type of flu. Have you understood how meaningful the paragraph is and how it is given in the question, guys? So if you can understand the meaning and then match it, you can see how direct and easy it is. So the answer for 11th question, reference to a possibility. So possibility is nothing but chance as given in the paragraph. Okay, so there is a chance of catching a different type of flu from the ones in the vaccine. Great. Now let's read the last one. The influenza virus is constantly changing, okay? And vaccines are developed to protect against the predicted strains each year. So what's happening? The research is going on and new vaccinations are being given to the people each and every year. So it's important to get vaccinated against the latest strains. Latest is nothing but new. So this is the relevance for the 9th question. Why new vaccines become available? Because continuous research is going on, and maybe owing to the recent research, there are new vaccines that are being available each and every year. Year after year, we are able to see new vaccines in the market. So this is how you get it, guys. I hope I have made it clear on how to get these questions right. And let's look out for the answers. And this is the answer key. As you can see, the first answer is D, second is E, third one is I, fourth is F, fifth one is H, sixth is D, seventh is G, and last answer is C. So once you get the strategy right, we can see that all the answers are correct. And this paragraph is an extract of Cambridge 11, the general series. Then, having understood the strategy, are you excited to try one paragraph on your own, guys? Do you want me to give the paragraph? And as promised, I'm going to do that. And I want all of you to try this and comment in the comment section as to how easy it was for you to get the answers. And if you've liked the strategy, please do check out our other videos as well, because I'm going to give you a lot more videos which are not only informative but also it can help to give you the strategies, some of the tips and essential strategies for you to crack the IELTS exam. So do subscribe to our channel, that is World of English Exams, and do check out our website as well, guys, www.worldofenglishexams.com. And on that note, I will give you one more paragraph for practice. Okay, so this is what you need to practice, and I just want to make one point clear here, that is, for which club are the following statements true? Sometimes the title may be given in this format as well. So do not confuse it with true, false and not given. So this title, or maybe the one that we have discussed earlier, which section contains the following information, or for which of the following nouns are the following statements true. So it may be given in any of the format, but all you need to do is, you have 4 paragraphs here. So this is the title, which is called Music Clubs, and as you can see, there are 4 paragraphs here. Within these 4 paragraphs, you can see the information for 8 questions. So 4 paragraphs, 8 questions, which means any answer can be repeated more than once. So even though NB or note B is not given here, it is quite understandable, isn't it, guys? So now I will set a timer and I'm going to give you approximately 2 minutes to analyze the question. So are you ready to do that? Great. And your 2-minute time begins now. Guys, when you're marking the keywords, don't forget to analyze nouns, verbs and adjectives, because they are the core keywords. They will definitely help us in getting the information right. So now you can take your time to match the information to whatever is given in the passage. And these are all the statements, guys. And here goes the passage as I was briefing you. This is called music clubs. And do practice this and comment in the section below to let me know how easy you found it. And if you apply this strategy, this will be applicable for both academic and general students. You can get the answers right. And I have also shared the answer key here. So once you're done with it, do look at the answers and confirm for yourself. So I hope this video is useful for you, and for many more other interesting videos, don't forget to like our channel and subscribe for the latest updates. Until I see the next time, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to our channel, and do share this video, and don't forget to stay tuned to the worldofenglishexams.com. Happy preparation, guys.